Welcome, everyone, to our deep dive into, well, the sometimes tangled world of comic book history. DC Comics, its universe has been growing for decades, right? So many stories, sometimes they don't quite line up. Today, we're looking at how they're trying to fix that. We've got this interesting two-page preview for the new history of the DC Universe, #2. It looks like a big attempt to make one clear timeline, honoring the past, but setting things straight for the future.
Yeah, it's a really significant project. I mean, especially if you've ever tried to follow DC continuity closely, it can get complicated. We heard from some fans, actually, who mentioned things like the New 52. You remember that big reboot in 2011?
Yeah, changed a lot.
Right, so after years of shifts like that, this new series feels like a promise. Like, finally, a clear map. Some are so keen they're subscribing on Kindle just to get each issue straight away.
Okay, so let's unpack this new map then. Let's see what it tells us about some of the big guns, the icons, and, what it means for you trying to follow these stories. First up, the foundations. The preview gives us some really fascinating bits about the Trinity Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. It says Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne started out as Superman and Batman pretty much at the same time. But the really interesting thing, I think, is for Superman, his Superboy adventures in Smallville. With Crypto, they're back, like officially part of his history again, which is quite a shift from when his first appearance was only as an adult Superman.
It is, and it brings back that whole formative period, maybe even opens the door for things like the Legion again, potentially. And for Wonder Woman, what's really fascinating is how they're blending the old and new. She's definitely born from clay, magically. That classic origin is locked in.
Right, the core element.
Exactly. But also her mother, Hippolyta. She was the Wonder Woman back in the Golden Age, fighting alongside the JSA of the Justice Society.
Oh, okay.
So Diana isn't the first Wonder Woman. She's inheriting the title. It adds this whole layer of legacy, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that does add depth. Okay, moving beyond the Trinity, the Speedsters. Barry Allen and Jay Garrick. How does this new history handle them?
It simplifies it, thankfully. Jay Garrick, the original Flash in the JSA, he's now firmly in the same timeline as Barry. He was Barry's actual childhood hero.
So not an alternate Earth kind of thing.
Nope. Seems like it's one direct line now.
Yeah.
Jay to Barry. Makes that connection much more organic, I think.
Okay, that definitely streamlines things.
And makes you think about how all these heroes connect, right, across time. And speaking of connections, the preview also spotlights Adam Strange.
Right, the archaeologist turned space hero on Ran.
Yeah, his whole double life thing, hero on another planet. It kind of shows the scope they're aiming for here. This unified timeline isn't just Earth-focused. It seems to be pulling in those wider cosmic elements, too, making sure even heroes like Strange have a clear place.
And there's something else, too, isn't there, in the art itself?
Oh, definitely. This is quite telling. There are panels in the preview that look exactly like the art from older books. Books that were previously considered, out-of-continuity standalone stories, like Superman, Space Age.
The Batman, the Dark Age. I saw that too. Very distinctive styles.
Spot on. And seeing those styles directly referenced, it strongly suggests those stories. They're being pulled into the main history now.
Wow, okay.
It's like a visual cue. They're saying, remember this cool story, it counts now.
Yeah.
It really reinforces this idea of weaving everything together. There's even a panel that looks like it could be from a Flash. Speed Age, hinting maybe that's part of it too. Visually knitting the past into the present.
So wrapping this up then, what's the big takeaway from just these 2 pages? For you, following along, it seems like a really clear effort to blend the best bits, doesn't it? That classic optimism, the JSA history, Wonder Woman's magic, but making it all fit together in a more modern, streamlined way.
Exactly. I think the goal here is to make the DC Universe feel more accessible, more emotionally resonant, maybe, both for longtime readers and newcomers. So for you, this deep dive hopefully shows that the stories look like they're aiming for clarity and sea-appealing narratives.
It really makes you think, though. When a whole fictional universe decides to rewrite its history to build a clearer future, what does that tell us, about how important stories are and maybe our own need for things to make sense even in the worlds we imagine? Something to ponder.